The fall of Starmer is spectacular, and although I do believe that Labour will rule till 2029, I don't think they'll win that general election. In today's video, we'll talk about why Starmer panics on Sunday after hearing bad news from him and Labour. In addition, we'll go over all the most recent news from across the nation. But first, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our rapidly expanding. In a vote this week, Anita Stanley received 652 votes, nearly 200 more than Labour, who narrowly defeated the Greens. In the most recent round of council polls, Nigel Farage's party defeated Labour for the Birmingham North seat on the Wolverhampton Council. The community's Labour Party has been struggling in local by-elections, losing a seat to Reform. The Conservatives passed the fourth Reform with 257 votes. In the more than 100 council by-elections since the July 4 federal election, UK Chairman Zia Yousaf called it a stunned victory. Labour had lost almost one-third of the seats it was defending in local elections since Keir Starmer's party had Labour lost 21 councillors in the July 4 victory, while the Conservatives gained 14 and Reform won 2 seats. However, a number of incumbent councillors in Essex and Scotland defected to the party. Addressing the victory in the Wolverhampton Reform case according to UK MP Lee Anderson, Reform has boosted the political tsunami and more defections are coming in other votes. On Thursday, Labour held a seat on the Sulphur Council but saw their vote share drop more than 10 points, meaning that they are losing ground and the support of their current voters. This is fantastic to see, and it will only get worse after this reform has been boosted, as Nigel Farage stated when Kemi Baddock was elected as the new Tory leader. The Conservative Party had abandoned the idea of leaving the ECR because that's what JITch stood for. What you're going to get with Kemi Baddock is more of the same, pretty much the same as the last 14 years, and I have to tell you one thing they don't understand: it's not about the individuals, the Conservative brand is broken. Kemi Baddock is the leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition. Kemi Baddock has been selected by Bo. If you voted generic or wanted generic to win, you now realize the direction of the Conservative Party is now time to join Reform. Do it. It was stated that Starmer is aware of the ground he is losing and is reportedly worried. What are your thoughts on Labour's and Starmer's freefall? Because the Conservative Party is now committed to staying in the ECR, which means we cannot deport foreign criminals and they will never stop the votes. Do you believe that Reform has a chance to win the 2029 general election? Tell me in the comments. In other developments, shortly before she was chosen to become the next leader of the Conservative Party, a Labour MP published a message accusing Kemi Baddock of being a white supremacist wearing blackface. In a post, Dawn Butler, the Brent East MP, said that the election of Bad was a win for racism. Here are some helpful tips for surviving the immediate surge of racism. A victory for Baddock is obviously unprecedented and once inconceivable. Don't get arrested, the police don't do nuance and they conveniently refuse to understand black and brown intracommunal language or forms of criticism. The original post was made by Nigerian journalist Anel Abbey, who is based in London, and it was read today that the most prominent member of the white supremacist black collaborator class in Britain is likely to be appointed leader of the Conservative Party. Sarcasm or praise, e.g. coconut. Uncle Tom and Aunt Kemi's house is black. Chalk, ice, etc. Malcolm X popularized the term house Negro, which is used to disparage black people who have brushed aside their ethnic identity in order to blend in with a white society. Similarly, the term coconut describes a person who is brown on the outside and white on the inside. The post was titled, "Warning 7 Rules for Surviving a Kemi Baddock." Following Butler's removal of Victory from her social media account, some people criticized Butler and urged Keir Starmer to take down the whip. Ben Obes Jetty. According to MP Huntington, it never takes much for Labour's disguise to come off. This opinion of Kemi is not unique to Butler on the government benches. Keir Starmer's removal of the whip or effective endorsement of Butler's disgusting endorsement of this defamation will be tested. Conservative councillor Oliver Cooper claimed that Butler believes the most successful black lady in British history is racist against black people. Keir Starmer must choose if he wants to be an obsessed racer. According to political analyst Lee Harris, warriors like Dawn Butler appear to continue representing his party. This is utterly disgusting. If Keir Starmer had any integrity, he would take the whip away from this horrible bigot. Dayer Butler is a complete embarrassment and has no place in politics. Today, Bach defeated Robert Genrich to succeed Rishi Sunak, winning the race 57% to 43%. She is now the fourth female Tory leader since Thatcher, Margaret Lisa Truss and Theresa May, in contrast to Labour, which has never had a female leader or any non-white leaders. The North West Essex MP is also the first black leader of a Westminster party. Bardo was congratulated by Starmer on her victory. Last but not least, the appointment of the first black leader of a Westminster party is a proud milestone for our nation, and I look forward to collaborating with you and your party for the benefit of the British people. In a recent statement ahead of his arrival in Cape Town on Monday, Prince William discussed the special place Africa holds in his heart. The Prince of Wales will arrive in Cape Town on November 4 and attend events throughout the week before departing on Thursday, November 7. The main event of his trip is the 4th annual Earthshot Prize Award ceremony, which is set for Wednesday, November 6. A Kensington Palace spokesperson referred to this as the Prince of Wales's Super Bowl moment. This will be his first official trip to the country since 2010 and his first trip to Africa since 2018, a continent where significant events in his life have occurred, including his proposal to Princess Kate. Prince William said in a new statement, "Africa has always held a special place in my heart as somewhere I found comfort as a teenager, where I proposed to my wife, and most recently as the founding inspiration behind the Earthshot Prize. It was in Namibia in 2018 that I realized the power of how innovative positive solutions to environmental problems could drive transformative change for humans and nature. I am proud that since its inception the Earthshot Prize has traveled to Europe, North America, and Asia, spotlighting and scaling 45 groundbreaking solutions, all of which are having a tangible impact as we work as a global collective to secure the future of our planet." He continued, "This week we'll travel to South Africa to spotlight our next cohort of 15 finalists and have the opportunity to join partners from across Africa to celebrate the inspiring approach to environmental innovation that is taking place across the continent. By the end of the week I want the Earthshot Prize to have provided a platform to all those innovators bringing about change for their communities, encouraged potential investors to speed African solutions to scale, and inspired young people across Africa who are engaged in climate issues. I firmly think that we can change the course of our planet's future if we band together with a shared sense of urgency and ambition." Despite making the least contribution to global warming, Africa is the continent most at risk from the effects of climate change. Despite making the least contribution to global warming, Africa is the continent most at risk from the effects of climate change. Nevertheless, African inventors are rising to the occasion and developing solutions that tackle pressing environmental and health concerns. Surprisingly, over 1 in 5 of the current Earthshot finalists were established or run in Africa. The purpose of Prince William's visit is to honor these African trailblazers and their vital roles in preserving the environment worldwide. If you haven't already, please make sure to like this video and let me know what you think about the topics we covered in today's video in the comments box below. For more British stuff, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and be careful. Goodbye.